3.3 LPA was my first
3.3
salary.
LPA.
In hand, I used to get 20,000. So I started with my career majorly as a mechanical engineer. I don't know for loop as well, frankly speaking. I don't know how to start with the coding. Whenever I was doing graduation, my mother got expired,
Oh,
and
I'm
my
sorry.
father is also not.
Everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So I am back with another amazing and really inspirational podcast for all the aspiring data engineers. So in today's podcast, a really inspiring data engineer will join us. And about this guy, honestly speaking, he hustled hard for his dreams. Started from the Tier-3 college, that to mechanical engineering branch. He started his career in the service-based company like Infosys with this minimum package, right? And recently got hired by Microsoft as a data engineer with amazing compensation. So make sure to watch this podcast till the very end. Every second will be really important. He will share everything like what happened with him in the college and how he moved into the service-based company like Infosys and preparing for a job switch from service-based company to tech giants and transitioning from software engineering profile to data engineering and complete interview process of data engineer profile at Microsoft. So that means you will get the motivation as well as really important information related to Microsoft data engineering. And I want you guys as well to appreciate his efforts. Like after watching this podcast, you can put your thoughts in the comment section. Like what did you feel about his journey and what kind of motivation you got from this video. And yes, if you want me to keep on uploading such amazing content for the data professionals, then hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. And guys, one important information I would like to share with you all that by 7th of April, my office will be open and I will be there. But I also know that I haven't revealed my company yet. And yes, I definitely want to reveal it with all relevant reasons. So I would be expecting 3000 likes in the next 3 days. If I can get it, then next 4th day, which will be Wednesday, 6th of April, I will reveal the company, will create a video with proper reason, which company I joined, explain everything. I know 3000 like looks impossible for me and it's hard to get, but let's try that. If it is possible, then definitely I'll do that. And thanks to CrioDo for sponsoring this video. CrioDo is a kind of platform which actually believes in learning by doing. So if you are someone who want to crack some really good amazing product based companies, but you feel that you are lacking in real world project experience and lacking in most demanding tech stack in the field of backend developer, full stack developer, front end developer, then this should be the go-to platform for you. Their extensive real world based projects programs are really amazing. I have shared one exclusive link in the video description. I use that one. You will get some exclusive offers, and as soon as you will click on that link, you will be landed on this homepage. Here on this homepage, you can find the detail for every single thing, and also free trial is available for all type of courses. For the full stack development, backend development, all the details are mentioned here. Assured scholarship will be there, 6-month duration. These will be the latest tech stacks. You will be working 15 plus hands-on projects with micro skilling exercises. Same with the backend development program, fellowship program in software development, 9th-month duration, assured scholarship, and guaranteed placement. These will be the things you will be learning, and you can explore the entire curriculum and more things from here. And this is a newly introduced program, master program in QA automation. So this program is definitely a good one from the skills, and again placement guaranteed here. And even the hiring partners you can look at here, like unicorn startups, MNCs which are hiring via CrioDo platforms, and you can use the link which is in the description. You will get extra benefits like the 10% extra discount plus additional scholarship, and this free guide for interview preparation, free guide for the resume preparation, and free guide for the mini project. So these things will be completely free for you if you will use the link in the description. Okay, so thank you so much, Nikhil, for joining me on my podcast. And to be very honest, guys, I am really excited for this podcast because whenever I interact with any fellow data engineer, it always gives me a different experience. And since Nikhil is from Microsoft, like it would be really great, Nikhil, if you can introduce to the audience like your little bit about your background.
Hello, Sishank. Thanks for having me in your podcast because I used to watch your podcast. I'm a big fan of yours. Your videos were very nice,
Thank you so
actually.
much.
I came here as a guest. It is great honor for me. And coming to myself, currently I'm working as a data engineer at Microsoft. I have overall 4 years of experience in data engineering field. Previously, I worked in Infosys and ITC Infotech. And coming to my graduation, I'm mechanical engineer graduate from SV University Tirupati, which is Tier-3 college.
Oh my god.
I
All
can
right, so you guys can even see so many odds with Nikhil, like the mechanical branch, Tier-3 college, started with service based companies, now working with an amazing profile data engineer at Microsoft. So this podcast is going to be really amazing. So Nikhil, I'll quickly start. Like, how was your journey from college to corporate? Because most of the people would love to know, how did you actually land up in the non-CS branch, and what kind of challenges did you face to get your first job at service-based company?
Okay, so I started with my career majorly as a mechanical engineer. So as a mechanical engineer, majorly core jobs are the major important things for us at college time. So I started preparing the gate in order to crack the public sector units. In that way, I started preparing aptitude and reasoning as well. At the time, I got placements, campus placements. So I attempted just Infosys and I cleared the interview, but I was not sure that I will join in Infosys because I thought to take some long-term coaching for gate and crack the gate. But due to financial conditions, I thought I can't sit and prepare for 2 years actually. So I started preparing. And so I joined in Infosys in that way. And coming to challenges, after going there, I don't know for loop as well, frankly speaking. I don't know how to start with the coding. So there I faced many difficulties at the initial times. Many times I got demotivated, like I should quit the job and I go to the service again, prepare for some other things. But whenever I feel demotivated, I used to call to my sister. She motivated me a lot, I can say. And then everyone are solving problems. Everyone are able to work, adopt the culture. So I thought, why can't I? In that way, I choose that, and I started practicing more and staying up long hours. So in that way, I started my journey.
And I'm pretty sure many of you will be there who might be having similar kind of stories. So you can let me know in the comment section if you are also coming from a background like non-CS, and you can let me know which company you got placed, or even if you didn't get any kind of placement, you can let us know. That's completely fine. So moving on to the next question, Nikhil, we all know like service-based companies like Infosys, TCS doesn't pay much to engineers, and that's a fact. Everybody knows about it. So the question is like, how did you get the motivation to choose data engineering as your career profile, and also to prepare for tech giant companies? Like both are something really, really amazing. And I would love to know this story as well.
So this is an important question, and even I thought, what are the major factors when we are working in any IT sector? Or like, one is the competitive pay, good salary, whether we are getting, or else whether we are satisfied with the current work. If anyone they think which we don't get satisfied, we look for change. So in the same way, I was not initially. I started my career with the .NET project, .NET actually. Wow. In the initial days, support project actually, I was not satisfied with the work. There was no growth at all. So I thought this is not what I wanted. I struggled a lot initially. I should settle in a good career path. So I started researching what is the good thing. I came up like data science and big data are the trending things at the time. So I should prepare. So what I thought is like dealing with a huge amount of data. Big data is the starting point for data analyst or data engineer or data scientist, anything. So at the time, my sister also working as a data engineer, big data engineer. So I thought she would also give some suggestions. So I started my journey in that way as a big data engineer. And initially, there were I thought big data I should prepare, but there was no proper documentation or what sources were not there. So I used to go to my learning websites and should prepare. I used to practice after my office hours, after coming home, and during the weekends I used to prepare. I completed some kind of certifications, and then after a few months I was good. I thought I'm good. Then I internally only I applied for big data engineering projects and switched to the data engineering.
Awesome. And that's what even I keep on saying to other folks, just explore. If you are not enjoying, there are a lot of options available, and it will depend on your motivation as well, the way like Nikhil found. And it's really good to see that you move into data engineering. And Nikhil, like 2 times you mentioned about your sister, and looks like she's the motivation factor in your life.
Yeah.
And how about other members in your family, if I can ask, if you don't mind?
Actually, whenever I was doing graduation, my mother got expired, and my father is also not doing some kind of good job actually. So we are not at all well settled. My sister used to, as bread earner, she is taking care of me and everything was she. So after my graduation, she got married. So I have to do some kind of job. Otherwise, I can't. I have to make. In that way, I started my career in the IT.
And I'm happy, and kudos to you and your sister both, the way you guys handled yourself and doing really, really good in your life. So hats off for that. So moving on to
Thank
next
you,
question,
Shashi.
Nikhil, right? And that is basically, how did you get the interview opportunity for Microsoft? Because the common challenge is folks who are working in service-based companies, they don't get called from top tech companies, right? Please share your complete interview experience of Microsoft for data engineer role, like total number of rounds, each round, what type of questions were there, because this thing will actually help all the aspiring data engineers out there. You know what's the value of
Yeah.
these kind of podcasts.
Yeah, I used to watch your podcast for these kind of rounds majorly. I know how it helps, Shashank. So initially, I used to apply many product-based companies, and my profile is not getting shortlisted many times. I have faced this kind of issues. So one time when I was working, I got a Naukri from I got a recruiter showed interest on my profile. So I shared my profile to the recruiter from Microsoft. So I thought they will not shortlist my profile, but within few days I got a confirmation like I got shortlisted for the interviews. So before getting the interview call itself, I was preparing some Spark, whatever the big data related things I was revising and data structures, which you provided some links. It helped me a lot for DSA things, I can say. So I was preparing that. I was happy once I got the call. So there were four technical rounds, actually, four rounds. The entire process was there. Initially, starting was a DSA round. Here, major focus were data structures, majorly some kind of codes they will ask on strings and list dictionaries. So I used to write some logic, whatever they expect, and what is the space and time complexity also they'll ask. They asked on that. And algorithms wise, they asked very basic algorithms because data engineering part majorly lies on the data. So it was basic, whether we are aware or not, it was focused. And Spark related things like how creating the data frames and how handling it. And optimization is one of the major thing they focused in the starting time. And second, coming to the second round, it is completely whatever the job description is there, right? That is completely into the data engineering side. So here, PySpark and SQL queries, advanced SQL queries like windowing, partitioning, majorly they focus whether we are able to write it, how we are approaching the problem. In that way, they asked. After that, data warehousing related and NoSQL kind of questions they asked. And as I'm from Azure cloud stack, so Azure kind of service, some of the Azure they asked in the second round.
Okay.
Coming to the third round, which is a hiring manager round. In the hiring manager round, half part is a technical and some of the part is a behavioral questions. In the technical, it was a one-to-one interaction with the manager. So cool actually. So they used to ask what is the current project, or what is the current workflow, how we are doing, and where you optimize the code, which way. These kind of questions they asked, and some kind of discussions were happened. After that, behavioral questions like what is the biggest challenges you have faced in your career, and what is the biggest complex problems solved. These type of questions were there in the third round.
Okay.
And after that, final round is like it will be with the director or that level actually. It is mostly into problem solving. So they give some kind of problems, real-time problems, whether it is data or some kind of thing.
Okay.
How you are approaching to that problem, how are you able to solve it, or just ignore, I mean, you are not able to solve, how you are thinking. This kind of approaches they have. So one of the example, like there is some trillions of data is there, how you are dealing, which way you can optimize this code.
Okay.
Just to focus on the real-time examples majorly. These were the four rounds majorly too.
The detailed explanation you have given about the process, I'm pretty sure this will help a lot of data engineers who are preparing for Microsoft and similar kind of tech giants. So this is great. And you guys can let me know in the comment section, like if you have faced this kind of situation, you are not getting any kind of interview calls from top tech companies. So just let me know in the comment section. So that's great. Let's move on to the next question, Nikhil. And that is basically like you might have interviewed with other tech companies as well. I'm hoping like when you were aggressively looking for a job, right? And that too for data engineer role. So based on your overall experience, if you would like to summarize, so what are some really common and most important things that we should prepare well before appearing in data engineering interviews?
Yeah, majorly most of the service-based companies, they only focus on the whatever the job description is there. That whereas the FANG companies or the product-based companies, they focus along with the DSA part also. They focus. Coming to the most of the companies common part I can say like SQL is the major thing they focus, and SQL queries they asked some kind of complex problems, and PySpark related, Spark related, what are the optimized. So you are most of the people you can write the code, but how efficient you are writing the code, and because we are dealing with the distributed systems, optimization is a major role. So along with that. And SQL, Spark, and whatever the cloud related services which I'm using, how you're orchestrating the things and these kind of things. These are the major things I.
Now, if I want to ask the question, which will be probably related to your journey as well, like when the first time you would have started exploring data engineering, so everybody needs a kind of roadmap. You are on the other side and think other aspiring data engineers are coming, freshers are coming. So if they want to start with the data engineering, so what would be the actual path? Like, what would you suggest to them? And also, how do companies prefer freshers for data engineering roles? So these are two questions together. How freshers can start their
Okay.
journey in data engineering step by step guide, and also whether they are treated well. Treated well, I mean whether they are getting hired by companies as a fresh data engineers or not.
So here, so most complex thing I can say. So initially, this is the toughest part for the freshers, because everyone want to be a data engineer, but they don't know from where they has to start actually. So I started from big data actually, how the HDFS works and how all this from big data. And understanding the distributor framework is the initial role majorly plays.
Okay.
After understanding the distribution, then come to the computation part. So for this majorly Spark, SQL we majorly use, and in some cases Scala they may use. So after this computation part, if you want to enhance your skills, come to the cloud part, whether it may be AWS or Azure part. What are the major services if you want to ingest the data, if you want to transform the data? What are the major services are required? Just to get those things. So first you got the data, how to analyze, and computation you got, and delivery. In that way, if you learn, it would be so helpful for you. As a freshers, I can say most of the some coding along with that. So one of the programming language is mandatory. I observed in my initial times. After getting some experience, they may focus on completely data engineering, but along whatever we learned, some programming language they should be strong. I as a guess.
Most of the freshers have this doubt, right? Whether companies will hire us or not, because we are just completely fresher. We don't have any experience.
I have seen many cases, Shashank. I can say many of there were many openings with so some people will think after 3 years only I can get vacancies for data engineers, but initial stages, even at 1 or 1.5 years, if you are able to crack the interview, they don't care about your experience. If
Okay.
you are good at, they are ready to hire actually. I observed some of the cases. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. I think this is a really, really positive point for you guys, like at least for the freshers. And yeah, I think this is getting changed, right? I have seen cases, and even in my current organization, we are hiring aggressively for fresher data engineers. So this is the good one, and you shouldn't worry about it. Just keep working on your skill, like whatever you are learning, core data engineering, core big data stuff. And whenever you get opportunity, just crack the interviews. So let's end this session with one last question, Nikhil, and that is, I think, a big question as well. So you can answer one by one. So the question is, like, most aspiring data engineers are concerned about salary and compensation in the market for data engineering role. So what do you think? How well do data engineers get paid nowadays? Because they have this misconception, like software engineers are getting paid really well, like 2x 3x something, same data scientists, but not data engineers. So this is one part of the question. And
Exactly.
how big this salary difference will be if someone moves from service to product based companies?
Exactly, Shashank. Even I started with my big data career at that time. I felt that the data scientists will get paid more, but I can't get that much. But this is completely a myth. I can say when I started moving, I'm getting equally whatever the data scientist is getting. I'm equally getting the opportunity and pay higher than in some cases
Wow.
as well. There is no such difference, I can say. And whenever if you are having 3 to 5 years of experience, as I checked, it is almost 17, 18 to 25 LPA you get in the service-based companies. There are a lot of things changed recently, I can say, in the COVID times. You'll get highly paid. And I can see like many of the product based companies, I can see many openings in the data engineering positions as well. If you're going to the data fan companies or any other product based companies, you will get almost, for me, when I started with my career, it is from that currently I can say almost 8 to 10 times a hike I got right
Wow,
now.
crazy. Awesome, awesome. So I'm really curious to know. I think at least for your first company, you can reveal your salary. How much you were getting at Infosys, Nikhil?
3.3 LPA was my first
3.3
salary.
LPA. Wow.
It is, yeah, in hand I used to get 20,000 per month.
Oh.
That's, I started my career with that.
Hmm.
If you're, yeah,
And
service based companies are also getting huge, and there is a lot of demand for data engineers. Don't lose hope.
yep, yep.
I can say.
Now you can just
Yes.
multiply 8 times, 10 times, and you can figure out how much the current salary he is actually getting. And obviously, we cannot reveal the exact amount. Cool, cool. This is great, and I think this will definitely give a lot of people hope. And why I'm just putting these kind of questions in front of my fellow data engineers, because so that you are not just depend on my statements that okay, Shashank will say he's getting paid well as a data engineer, so that is true. I mean, that's why like I'm putting these kind of questions like again and
You are
again to
doing really great job,
different data
Shashank, I can
engineers, so
say.
that they can also share their insights about the salary. So in the market there is no as such different, be it this software engineer, data scientist, you are targeting top tech companies, you will get a really amazing compensation, I can guarantee on this part. So very amazing insights, Nikhil, and really inspiring his story, I'm pretty sure, because as soon as I saw your story on LinkedIn, I quickly just instantly reached out to him that I just want to bring your story in front of the audience. I want to inspire them as well. If like he can do it after such challenges, you can also do it. So from my side, a very big thanks, Nikhil, for giving your like precious time and sharing this wonderful insights with aspiring data engineers.
Thank you so much, Shashank. I would like to thank you because your podcasts are helping a lot of people, I can say. Because, and one more thing for the data engineers, my suggestion is like first prepare whatever the data engineering concepts first clearly, and come to the data DSA part at the end. Because if you're not good at the data engineering parts clearly, if you go clear the data structures, it is no point of use. So prepare DSA part at the last. This is one suggestion, and all the best for everyone.
Thank you, thank you. So that's what I had for you guys in this video. I hope you would have enjoyed this really inspiring and motivating journey of Nikhil. And if you guys did, then make sure to like this video in really big numbers, so that this really motivating podcast can reach to maximum number of aspiring data engineers. And if you're liking such type of content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. I will see you guys in the next weekend with another amazing podcast. Till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.